All right, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going deep on something pretty cool. It's OpenAI's new real-time API.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got a couple of really great sources that you sent in. One is a technical tutorial about how to actually use this with Twilio,
Hmm.
and the other one is OpenAI's own announcement.
Okay.
So we're going to figure out what it does, how it works, and why it should matter to you.
Yeah. What I think is exciting about this is that this is not just another API. Like, this is a big step towards, AI that can actually keep up with us in a back and forth conversation.
Right, like in real time.
Yes.
Think about all the times you struggled with like a smart assistant or something, and it's just like pulling teeth to get like a straight answer. Like this is trying to solve that.
Yeah, it is. And what's really interesting here is that, it is using GPT-4 or the power of that.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of being limited to text,
Yeah.
it actually allows for speech-to-speech interaction. So no more awkward pauses waiting for text to be processed and converted to audio.
So it's literally like having a conversation with an AI.
Precisely. And the Twilio tutorial actually dives into how that is achieved. Like, one detail I found particularly interesting is how they highlight the API's ability to bypass the need for converting speech to text and back again.
So it's just like audio the whole way through.
Yeah, just a continuous flow.
Wow, that's got to be a game changer.
Yeah, it really makes it less robotic and more human.
Absolutely. So OpenAI gave some pretty interesting examples in their announcement about how it's being used.
Yes, they mentioned Speak, which is a language learning app that allows you to have conversations with an AI that speaks the language you're trying to learn.
Oh, wow.
So it's like having a personal tutor available 24/7.
That would be so helpful.
Yeah. And they also highlight Healthify, which is a fitness coaching app. And that's powered by the Realtime API as well, so it can have natural conversations with users and offer personalized advice and guidance on nutrition and exercise.
Okay, so we've got like language learning and we've got fitness.
Hmm.
What other applications do you see this being used for?
Oh, the possibilities are pretty much endless. Like, think about customer service, education, entertainment, any field where natural real-time interaction is key.
So we've established that this is pretty revolutionary in how we might interact with AI, but how does it actually work?
Well, that's where the Twilio tutorial really shines. It actually gives you a step-by-step guide on how to build a voice assistant using Node.js, Twilio Voice, and obviously the Realtime API.
Oh, so you can actually build an AI assistant that you can call on the phone.
Yes, and it's available on their code exchange, so you can go check it out.
That's cool. What was there anything in the tutorial that really stood out to you?
Well, one thing that really caught my eye was how they described the process of proxying audio between Twilio and OpenAI's WebSocket. So essentially, it's like a constant stream of audio data flowing back and forth in real time, enabling that seamless conversational experience.
That is so cool. I mean, it's really highlighting like how sophisticated this all is.
Yeah, a lot of effort's gone into this API.
For sure. So OpenAI seems pretty excited about the future of this technology. What kind of features are they working on?
Well, one thing they are working on is incorporating even more modalities, such as vision and video, into the real-time API.
So imagine an AI that can not only understand what you're saying, but also see and react to what it's seeing.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
And beyond those futuristic features, they're also focusing on more practical things like increasing rate limits to handle larger volumes of data and providing official SDK support to make it easier for developers to build and scale their applications using the API.
Those are pretty important things for developers.
Oh, for sure.
So let's get down to brass tacks. How much does this cost?
Well, the pricing model, it's actually pretty similar to other OpenAI services. It's based on a combination of text and audio tokens, which are essentially units of information processed by the API.
Okay, so what does that mean like in dollars?
Well, they estimate that it will be roughly $0.06 per minute of input audio and $0.24 per minute of output audio.
So if you had a 10-minute conversation.
That would be about $2.40 for the AI's responses, plus an additional 60 cents for your own speech input.
So $3 for a 10-minute conversation with an AI.
Yeah, which isn't too bad, considering how sophisticated this is.
Right, but it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. So OpenAI has been pretty transparent about their safety measures too, right?
Yeah, they've got automated monitoring systems that can detect any misuse, and they've got human review processes to double-check things, and obviously they adhere to strict privacy commitments to protect user data.
Well, it sounds like they are taking this pretty seriously.
It seems like it.
Which is good because this is powerful stuff.
For sure. It's definitely good that they are thinking about all of that and prioritizing safety because with powerful new technology comes a lot of responsibility.
Absolutely. And this does feel like a turning point, like we're talking about AI that can actually have a conversation, like a back and forth.
It is. And, I think about how this could transform, like, education.
Yeah.
Like, imagine every student having access to a personalized AI tutor
Oh, wow.
that could adapt to their learning style and their pace,
That'd be amazing.
right? And then you think about healthcare,
Yeah.
like AI assistants that can provide support to patients 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
like answering questions
Mm.
and monitoring their symptoms, even offering emotional support.
Especially for people in like remote areas or underserved areas, that's huge.
Yeah, exactly. And I bet our listeners can think of tons of other places this would be impactful.
Oh, yeah.
From customer service to entertainment, like the possibilities are pretty much endless.
Yeah. And it's not just about the practical applications either. Like this changes how we think about AI.
It does. We're kind of moving beyond the idea of it as like a tool
Yeah.
and more into like a collaborator or a partner or even a companion.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way to think about it.
And it's important that we think about these advancements with a sense of wonder, but also responsibility.
Right.
We need to think about the implications and make sure that we're using it in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Yeah. So it's all about balance, I guess.
Absolutely. Finding that balance between innovation and then ethical considerations.
Making sure we're not just creating powerful AI, but AI that's good.
Yeah, aligned with our values as a society.
Exactly. So it's still early days for the real-time API, but developers are already finding ways to use it.
Oh, yeah,
Like those are just two examples, the language learning and the fitness coach, but I'm sure there are tons more.
absolutely. I mean, I'm really excited about the potential in the accessibility space.
Oh, yeah.
For people with disabilities that affect their communication or their mobility, like this technology could be amazing.
Right. It could really break down those barriers.
Yeah, imagine a world where anyone can easily interact with technology using just their voice.
And not just removing barriers, but opening up new opportunities.
Exactly. And, think about the creative possibilities like artists, musicians, writers,
Yeah.
anyone who works with language and sound
Mm-hmm.
could use this to create entirely new forms of expression.
Like we're not just making things a little bit better, we're actually changing how we interact with the world.
Yes, precisely. And that's what's so cool about it. Like, we're on the cusp of something really transformative.
So OpenAI has been talking about some futuristic things that they're working on with the real-time API.
Right.
We've already talked about vision and video being added, but what else is on the horizon?
Well, one area that I'm thinking about is personalized learning.
Okay.
Imagine an AI tutor that can not only hear your responses, but also see your facial expressions and your body language, and then adjust its teaching style to match.
It's like a mind-reading tutor.
Right. And that would be amazing for students who struggle in traditional settings,
Oh, yeah.
but also for students who really excel. It could help them push their boundaries further,
That's cool.
The possibilities for personalized education are really limitless.
And I was just thinking about healthcare too. Like, imagine an AI that can analyze your visual appearance for signs of illness.
Right. It would be like having a doctor right there in your pocket.
Oh, yeah. And it could help with early diagnosis and preventative care.
Absolutely. Like if AI can pick up on those subtle changes in appearance or behavior that we might not even notice ourselves,
That's
it
fascinating.
really could help us stay healthier.
So it's like blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds.
Yeah. And as those lines get blurrier,
Yeah.
it makes us kind of question, how we define ourselves in our relationship with technology.
Like, what does it even mean to be human anymore when you have AI that can do all this stuff?
Right. Exactly. And as we get more interconnected with AI, it's important to consider the ethical implications and ensure that, we're using this technology in a way that's good for society.
It's like we were saying before, like we have to be having those conversations now about data privacy and, algorithmic
For
bias.
sure. And the potential impact on jobs and the economy. Like, we have to address these issues head on.
I think one of the biggest challenges is going to be finding that right balance
Yeah.
between encouraging innovation and regulating it.
Because we want to encourage the development of all this cool technology,
Yeah,
but we also need to make sure it's being used responsibly and ethically.
right. It's a tough one, but it's important.
It's complex, but we got to be addressing it now as this technology is developing so fast.
It's like we're going into uncharted territory.
Yeah, we need to be prepared for the unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is uncharted territory. But, think about like the early days of the internet.
Oh, yeah.
People were excited, but also kind of scared. And look at how it's changed everything.
It's true.
I think we're kind of at that same point with AI.
Totally. And just like the internet, AI can connect us in ways that we never thought possible before.
Exactly. Like, imagine how the real-time API could help people who speak different languages communicate with each other.
Hmm.
Like, it could break down those language barriers and, help people understand each other better.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, and it's not just about global communication either. Like,
Mm.
think about how it could help us connect with each other on a more personal level.
Mhm.
Like, imagine an AI that can understand your emotions and your interests and your values,
Yeah.
and then help you find people or communities that are like-minded.
It's like a matchmaker, but not just for dating, but for like friends or
Just
mentors.
exactly. And
Yeah.
in a world where it's so easy to feel isolated, that kind of connection could be really, really important.
Yeah. Like AI helping us connect with each other. That's kind of ironic.
I know, it's interesting, right?
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to go back to like, why should anyone care? Like, our listeners might be thinking, this is all cool, but like, how does this affect me?
Yeah, well, I would say even if you aren't a developer, this technology is going to impact every part of our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way we work and learn and communicate and entertain ourselves, it's all going to be changed by AI in the next few years.
So it's already shaping the future, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, and the more you know about it, the better prepared you'll be.
Right. Knowledge is power, especially with all this crazy technology coming out. Well, I think that's a great place to end it.
I agree.
So to our listeners, we want to leave you with a question to think about.
Okay.
Beyond what we talked about today, what other areas of your life do you think could be impacted by this technology? And how do you see AI changing the world, not just way in the future, but in the next few years?
Yeah, keep exploring, stay curious, and let's see what happens.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.